Yeah, there's two possibilities here. Of course, it really depends on if you're going to run a core bounty hunter versus a support bounty hunter. I know Paladai likes his support bounties. Misery has played it as well. Sometimes goes completely out of control in this hero as well.
Yeah.
Mm, and they're basically, if it's a +4, I'm leaning towards +5 right now. They're just saying, all right, we are going to pick really strong lanes so that we can get away with this bounty hunter, and then we're going to financially snowball you out of the game in the mid
Mm.
game.
And
Which is they're gonna meet that lifestealer head on, which is well, they're getting that. Oh, well, mid game. Never mind then. This is surprising.
yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't like 4+1 with a bounty hunter in it. I don't, because bounty hunter is not really a hero if you've got a whole ass Medusa to defend and make space for.
Yeah, I can
This is risky.
see I can see how the bounty hunter helps Medusa vision wise, but you saw that Slardar coming right after the bounty hunter pick, so that's
Yeah.
exactly what they wanted. Locate the bounty, at least you have like some way to show it. But they're picking this Medusa also into the Slardar, so is the physical damage a threat to the Medusa when there's life stealer with Slardar against the Medusa?
Mm, it really depends on how hard Lifestealer is hitting his timings. With a Slardar, you can definitely man fight anything on a Lifestealer. If the Dusa gets out of control, though, I'm not sure if you can actually hit that timing hard enough.
Hmm.
And yeah, with the bounty hunter on the field as well, I'm just gonna keep coming back to that because this tiny bounty hunter are really going to have to feast on these relatively defensive supports of Team Empire in order to keep their 4-man healthy. Um, the other option is, of course, that they're going to go with a less farmy Medusa build, so nothing like the third item rapier that we've seen recently.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like the fighting, tanking frontline Medusa has been out of favor for a long time.
It has. It has. Like, I like they're taking Medusa into a different type of approach, but then again, there are many situations where you just spot the Medusa defending a mid-tier 1 tower, and you're like, well, how do we get to this guy? He's already dealing damage to all of our heroes, and how difficult it is to actually get to Medusa. Also, heroes that would consider to be great counters to this, like Doom, for example, like Medusa can't really do anything except, but they'll just fight through it. They'll just ignore that you're being controlled, and you'll just, continue to right-click where you are.
Yeah, I think the best way to deal with the Medusa is to not really deal with her at all. She's gonna click all of you, sure, but she's not going to deal all that much damage. And with the amount of burst damage that they have on Team Empire, they can easily get rid of 2 or 3 of her teammates before they ever get to the snake.
Yeah.
So, it's I definitely think that 5 men are giving themselves a challenge here. And of course, again, based on player quality here, if they're saying, "Hey, let's see if we can pull this off," then maybe the world's their oyster. That's they get to push the limits on that if they want to. And in that regard, if that's what they're doing, I'm personally a fan of challenging yourself in the draft more if you think that this is an opponent you should beat, because otherwise you rely so heavily on your own um, mental control as opposed to just saying, "Hey, my hero says that this is not a great matchup. I gotta focus here."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You kind of do catch that idea as well. Well, from 5men's perspective, that they banned the Batrider, kind of a notifier as well that I'm looking at their draft. They don't really have a saving hero.
5 seconds remain.
No, there's no utility here.
Yeah.
There's 3 times going in and a snake lady.
There's the Bloodseeker that you can build into utility, but in terms of like saving spells, talking about like Art Dispels or forced positioning, usually the heroes that always come to mind for a saving hero are like Shadow Demon, Vengeful Spirit, and then Oracle. Those are like the usual 3 duo for savings. And Bane does quite do that, like at least a portion of it, but it also allows for a setup here.
Yep, and this is a BKB piercing disable on the Fiend's Grip, so that's a nice way to keep the Lifestealer out of the fight for a while. And he is, at this point in time, pretty much Team Empire's sole source of damage.
Hurry.
So the way you react to this for sure is to grab yourself an extra damage dealer. You could also switch the Wind Ranger into a damage dealing position, but I don't like that because it's into tiny. And yeah,
Let's see what the damage is.
there's your magic damage. But
There's definitely a really big source of magical damage coming in from the Zeus. shift into our overlays here. And Empire, well, Lightless with Zeus, and then we have apparently Smiling Knight. So where is Sunlight? Hang on. Light out now? That Natty Narwhal who's playing, or who is that?
Wasn't Sunlight the stand-in for Smiling Knight?
They had Sunlight, they had Scandal, and then they have Natty Narwhal marked in their original roster. So I'm not sure if Smiling Knight is another
That's a great
substitute,
name.
or if that is Narwhal.
No,
So
Smiling Knight is their original player.
all right, okay.
So this is the full Empire lineup, and yeah, you don't make the Wind Ranger a core in this case because you get killed too easily. But Zeus has some of the same issues. It's just that his DPS goes much faster, so you actually get to kill people before they kill you.
Hmm.
Wind Ranger is, yeah, you gotta pew 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 a lot before they actually die. Very scientific, I know.
Well, we'll get to our first game in just a tiny bit here, waiting for the loading screens, and hopefully we don't have any internet or power issues, as we have actually managed to dodge those pretty well today. I think we had at the start of the day there were some lag issues, but that's all about it. You love to have like a full, clean, straight day of Dota. No problems in the online world. We'll get to do that, and yeah.
Yeah, there's enough problems in the offline world. Let's have some smooth online life for once.
Yeah, indeed. And good to see that 5 men are now in their full roster too. Didn't they also play with a stand-in, or did I might have misread that one. Having Ace at least back in action. Maybe it's just been a while I've actually seen, because this is the first time I'm actually casting 5 men, so.
Yeah, I don't remember them having a stand-in at the very least, but you know, for me this roster is definitely about Ace as like the biggest player in here, because everyone remembers his time on Secret where, you know, there were a lot of doubters, there were a lot of haters. He performed just fine on that level, but it also felt like in the end he didn't quite have maybe the confidence to truly grow to fit at that level, so when he left Secret he fell down a bit again. And I'd like to see this guy actually develop to where we've all seen that he can go.
Yeah. But our bounty challenge is at least going all around here, so 5 men able to get theirs. Twilight Eye actually snatches 1 from the Wind Rangers, so that's a 3 for 1 going for 5 men. Extra 40 gold, so extra 160. Wait, extra 200 gold for 5 men.
Or slightly less than an Iron Branch per person.
Tiny versus Zeus in mid. So I'm going to start off with this matchup. This should be Zeus pushing the wave. This should be a very Arc Lightning heavy favored build here for Lightless. Necessarily wanting to opt into the max out Lightning Bolt. I think Arc Lightning will do just fine for him here.
It depends a bit. You can last hit fine enough with Arc Lightning as well as with your right clicks. They have been buffed quite a bit, as you can see here. He's just getting nice with his right clicks against the Tiny. It feels a lot better to play Zeus these days. So I imagine that, yeah, Static Field now for extra harass, and after that probably mostly levels in Lightning Bolt. And Chessie is going to have to buy a lot of regen, and he wants that bottle real fast.
Yeah. Skipping Lightning Bolt for now. Doing pretty well. I think the idea mainly for the Lightning spam is just that you can optimize into faster farm with the camps nearby. You are using quite a lot of mana, obviously, as a spellcaster, but you're kind of like almost constantly spamming spells. Not with the early levels here, at least, because you still need to store up a little bit. We have our...
Let's see what he prefers. I haven't seen that many pro Zeuses lately.
Yep. Have our bottom lane matchup with Bounty and Bloodseeker, so double melee. What I really liked watching in our previous game that we had there with Mofara was the combination of Avalanche and Bloodright. So if you get Bloodright out and then instantly follow with Avalanche, you can't run out of it. However, it's a bit different here in this lane, so two melees versus Lifestealer. Lifestealer really loves to soak up HP from big targets, like Bloodseeker in this case can have a big HP pool compared to the Bounty Hunter. And then you have Chen bullying here at the same time. So, but this is still a very strong damage dealing duo here with the Bounty and the Bloodseeker.
It is, yes. And Misery is most likely going to do a lot of courier hunting. He misses out on this one, though. His ward is also not in the most classical courier hunting position.
Yeah.
But I know this man. He likes to kill couriers.
Gives a tiny bit of vision, at least into the lane, cutting out from that high ground position. But it's a very short moment to spot it, and they might just kill Misery. He hasn't leveled up anything at level 2, not even his invis. Gonna store that point, so he's just gonna give his life away. Ignart picking up first blood. Technically, nothing could have actually saved him there. Even if he leveled up invis, Chen would have just put the sentry down on the ground, because he's holding on to one, which you're supposed to either put it down or have one extra when you're up against the Bounty in lane. So that's what they can definitely do here in this lane.
Question was Misery prepared to, you know, get the sentry out in exchange for his life there? He wasn't. But now he does have the Shadow Walk level, so it's gonna happen next time.
Yeah. Shotslow's picking up some decent farm in top at least, interrupting with these creep pulls from Pile I Die. Instantly bring them back, so with Ace getting a bit of free time to farm here, he's now got a double wave pushing towards the Slardar, and both camps have actually been used. There's the easy camp that Pile I Die could use for a pull, but that one will not lead to very good results. That will still keep your lane pushing if he goes for a solo pull. Bit of an action rune challenge. Chessie, yeah, that's a region for the Tiny, not bad.
Nice. And by the way, great read on the build that the Zeus was gonna go. He's putting everything into Arc Lightning. That's a nice toss to get him out from under his tower, and I don't think Lightless survives this, although he does a hell of a lot of damage before he goes down.
Does, but Chessie will just regen all that back. Regen rune up.
Isn't it lovely?
Yeah. Sometimes RNG really favors you in some good things. You can go for a full-on trade, you survive it. Oh, regen. Let's get everything back up to max.
But you can see that both of these teams really respect that as well. Like, that simultaneous movement of Sayu and Pile I Die towards that rune is... They completely recognize that that might happen.
Yeah.
So, it's somewhat lucky for 5-man, but also definitely forced. Chessie casually walking past the mid tower here. He wants that bounty rune, and I don't think anyone's going to challenge him for it.
Yeah, they will get that one for free. Level 5 on Tiny. Good progress coming in with in terms of levels here. Lightless has hit level 6, so Zeus Ultimate is available, which needs to be on the minds of 5 men here. Also the same for Empire's teammates, because this might just be a kill on the Dusa, which they might just store it for. We'll see how far they actually dive with this. They can't. With the Nightmare from Pile I Die.
And she is extremely tanky, especially before Sideslow hits his level 6 here.
Yeah, like, you can definitely give an attempt to almost take them. The Medusa, the Hellbear, comes in and smacks Ace, actually, for over 100 damage there. So, I don't think I've seen that happen quite often, that the hard camp creep, when it's about to turn around, it actually uses its spell. And this might be the goal sign. Shackle Shot doesn't go quite in, but the Nightmare will intervene. But the Zeus ulti is there, and it's going to be enough. And meanwhile, Smiling Knight also gets a kill on Sibe here in the bot lane. So that's two for a Zeus ult.
Absolutely excellent. That's how you want your first press of the game to go, if you are Lightless. Killed his wave too, so no threat to the tower. Lovely stuff.
And that is like interesting that
I think Pai's dead.
That's like when you can actually create two things happening at the same time on both lanes, instead of just having action in one and preparing to defend on the other, or playing defensive on the other. You know that you have that Zeus ulti ready. So that was the thing I was waiting for the whole time. When do they use it on the Medusa? But it felt like Medusa was actually collateral, because Smiling Knight was looking for the kill on the Bloodseeker there in the bot lane. So I was like, all right, we can get two here.
I'm surprised Ace died too. He might have switched off his mana shield just before dying there, but I'm not sure. Like,
it was very calculated.
It might have been error.
Was sitting at like 200 HP. The ulti does 300 minus 25%, so you're doing like 225. So it might have been the mana shield off just right there. Like plus 25 above 0. That's not quite a lot for a safe lane carry kill, so it's definitely worth it. Quick maths. 4 heroes coming in towards bottom though. Misery scouting ahead. The rest of the 5 men looking up towards Eknart. Lightless is coming in. And Chessie with a DD rune. This might be getting some backup as Seiyu is here looking for the shackle shot. And that's Bane going to be caught inside it. Bloodright is out and Chen is away. Silence on the Zeus, so Zeus can't do much here, but they will at least get Pylai out of the way. And Chessie is getting body blocked here by the Chen creeps, and he's not going to get himself away. Throws the toss onto the Zeus, so the tree will be thrown away. We'll keep Chessie away, but the infest coming in from Silence, Smiling Light, and there we go. Another Zeus ulti, and Misery also falling. And Lightless with a double kill.
Very patiently fought by Empire there. They know that if they overposition, especially the Zeus, he is going to die. So they gotta do it carefully, and yeah, with the overpositioning from Misery especially, they actually get to roll that fight out completely in their favor. They get to keep their entire bottom tower alive too. Not a scratch on it, but you know, 40 damage. I don't think that counts as a scratch. That's a pebble.
He's doing some jungling work here. Do you think they're going to do some stacks for this Medusa, or you think they're going to be really occupied on other lanes that Medusa's just going to grab what he can?
I imagine that Pi, after he gets his level 6, is going to be spending his time between stacking and trying to get kills with the Fiend script. That's going to be everything he does. And I mean, Pylai Dai is one of the most habitual stackers in the scene, I think. He is in love with stacking.
Radiant have fortified their towers.
Keep up that support efficiency.
Radiant's bottom tower is being
Like, was the phrase position 6 coined for him? Because it's between him and Solo, I think.
Yeah, those 2 players would definitely fit that locker. Smiling Knight's got some nearby hostiles, but on the Lifestealer, and Lightless and Eknard are coming back here. Lightning Bolt right on the money. And get another one though. So he's already maxed out 4 points on Arc Lightning, now 2 points on Lightning Bolt, so that's going to be the next one to be maxed out. Chessie, 3 spells, half HP. Whoa. So much damage.
Now, I wonder if Empire are being a little bit, shall I say, scant with the Sentry Wars here, because they're counting on Lightless to do all of that work for them.
Salty, Chessie going down. Bloodseeker also in big trouble. Xibe trying to make a run for it against Smiling Knight, and there we go. Xibe is out. Chessie will live for now. Power shot. The Arcane Rune will be picked up by Chessie. Here comes Joshua all the way on the way as well, and slap in the face. Now Misery reveals himself, but Zeus, or Misery's luck, doesn't have any mana.
And Zeus is not going any defensive items either. He's going to get a boost of travel, so his job is just going to be push out the side lanes, make sure that there's dark space on the map for Smiling Knight and Sachlo to make their attack attempts into. And yeah, Sachlo is going towards the Blink Dagger already as well.
Yep. But the Chen army moving around here in mid. Smiling Knight taking a few hits from the tower. Quick infest to hide from the Bloodright. Will kill one of Egnard's birds.
Collateral damage.
Collateral damage, indeed. But Ace will get to hold this mid, and we've almost got a Midas up on our Medusa.
Yeah, I don't imagine we're going to see Ace leave this area of the map very often, if at all. Like, a couple of moments probably, you're going to see him parked under a tower when everyone else on his team is TP'd up. But apart from that, yeah, he's gonna be in his own little kingdom. Collecting gold.
Still, even with all these kills, the net worth is very even between Empire and 5-man core heroes. Misery. I immediately regret my decision.
I sure hope he does.
He hits Chen, and then there's Zeus coming in from behind the corner. Cuckoo.
I think he
Lightning bolt.
didn't expect it because they have
Nope.
been bullying
He
Smiling
went
Knight
in
with
thinking that
3
there's
heroes.
nobody else. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, Smiling Knight has been alone. Like, there have been 3 heroes hating on him, and he's just been sitting here like, yep, I'm a life stealer. This is what we picked me this hero for, I guess.
Once again,
And Misery got a bit too used to that.
3 deaths for him. Just picked up 3 kills after the death in mid. Chessie should beat the race towards this DD rune.
tower is taking damage.
Sibe and Pylai coming in through the jungle. They've got 1 ops ward with them.
Got a Veil too. And Bloodseeker has such good lanes. It's
Dire's top tower is being
Yeah,
attacked.
the Veil
I won't
Seeker.
call it illegal, but
Dire's top tower is destroyed.
Veil Seeker. Looking for Lightless. SC trying to get that wave to push in. Gonna have to make a move soon. Becoming more and more obvious as long as time is running out. Put the ops ward down. Sibe still wanting to go in, but Pylai has already revealed himself out, and Chessie is also out.
and I found a ward.
Yep.
Well,
On top, they're going on the Medusa, at least a bit of harassing from Shachlo.
Satcho's got to run. He's so close to that Blink Dagger, and if he doesn't die now, he'll actually get it before Chessie does, and that's huge. It means that they'll hit their burst damage timing at precisely the same time that the opponent mid does, while only having invested offlane in it.
Alright, a casual Misery out of play. Multi-use for that.
Bottom tower is being attacked.
11 and 2. Still barely a 2k lead here. A lot of kills, a lot of pickoffs, but 5 men they're opting to give these kills. I guess if that Misery dies, it's alright for them. He's still a support anyway.
It's fine, but
this is also a thing that I know you have something on your mind, but I just have to say we're fighting against a bounty hunter. We're fighting against a bounty hunter. Any 1-1 trade with a track on is a win for 5 men.
yes, absolutely. I mean, that's actually exactly what I was going to say. Misery's okay with dying there because he already had his track, and that was everything that he needed out of that lane. I'm still worried for them though. It's still basically a 3 versus, well, 5 actually if Empire decide to use an Infest Bomb to fight. And they might as well because Smiling Knight's got that armlet at the ready and there's the Blink Dagger.
Yep.
Satcho is really farmed.
Looking at these item builds here, Seiyu is also thinking about going for a Blink Dagger here on the Wind Ranger, which would be absolutely fantastic to see those Blink Shackle shots kick in. They can be very game-changing.
Yep, there we go. Smoke like clockwork.
Dire's top
If
tower
they want an entrance skill on this mid tower, they're so tired of getting this creep wave blown up in their face again and again. But Misery? Is he...
A lot of drawing going on the map, and that's all from the Lifestealer, so they're drawing exactly where to go. Shotslow, there's the Infest Bomb coming in, finding Chessie. Chessie's Blink Dagger going to be put on cooldown. Nightmare Save coming in as a Shackle shot, also piloted at the same time. Chessie is about to go down. Smiling Light will get the kill, but they also get the Rupture on the Lifestealer. Here comes Ace with his ultimate on, and the Medusa's Gaze is forcing Eknard and Seiyu into a small corner, but Lightless gets a kill on Pilot Eye, and now they're going to turn around. The Medusa get the stun right away, and another follow-up stun coming in as well. They got the Centaur. Can they get close enough? They don't need to,
Oh, nice.
because they have a Shackle shot on Empire running over 5 men right now, and a buyback coming in from Pile I Die, and it's not even going to do any effect here with this fight.
Beautiful. They have been playing the entire laning stage towards this moment. We get the Blink Dagger, we get the Infest, we get the pick off, we get the tower.
While Chase Pile I Die throws in the Nightmare on Seiyu, so he's able to take 1 bounty for himself, but here comes Sachlo. No more Nightmare for you. Ash.
Oh, that hurts.
Seiyu for the steal.
If you were still alive, I'd still be shooting.
And because Empire have been able to park Smiling Knight in front of this tower here, oh, Misery! Dude.
At this point, you're thinking Lifestealer should just carry his own 1 dust for these situations.
Yeah, I usually encourage carries too. If you have any slots left over that you're not really using, and he's going to have one again once he gets his second Mithril Hammer and finishes up the Deso, he should totally bring out the dust as well.
Yeah, like overall, if you have like 1 empty inventory slot open and you're a farming core, you should go for it. Like, always have your inventory filled. Core player. Now they will get the obs out of the way. Misery is still throwing another track onto Shotslow, so they see the movements from Empire here in this bot lane, but I don't think they care too much. They can just go for this, because Deso is 600 gold away from the lifestealer, and this tower kill is very important to get that timing up as well. And Shotslow almost running all the way towards Misery.
I'm surprised with the amount of respect Empire showed there, honestly. As soon as that track went out, Sideslow could have blinked. He's playing very reserved. Empire are focused.
Looking for an infest bomb. Pylai Die actually reveals himself there and tries to go for the D-board, but it's not gonna work for you today. Taxi service arrives right on time. 504 for the lifestealer now. 303 for Shotslow. The only ones who've died are Lightless and Eknard.
And this is also great news for Lightless and Eknard, by the way. Because if this frontline gets farmed, if they just keep dealing so much damage that 5 men actually have to fight these 2 beefy cores instead of the backline, that is where you really start enjoying the game as a Zeus. Because they just don't have the time to go for you anymore.
Uh-oh.
Misery?
Well,
Get scouted.
Feel like they knew all along where Misery actually was, and that's like almost a solo kill. Yeah, it's like so they saw the bounty walking in from here, and they had an ops ward, and it felt like well the sentry kind of showed them that he's probably somewhere there. So they just threw the Zeus ulti, and very fast finger reactions there from the Slardar to instantly hit the corrosive haze right after the Zeus ulti. So nothing could actually save the bounty, but I just love that was like inside 0.5 seconds when he threw that corrosive haze. So it's like he knew exactly where he was, even though he was invis.
Nice read. And yeah, Ace has been pushed out of his favorite spot on the entire Citadel, I'm afraid.
Ace's Citadel.
Sorry, it's a Mass Effect joke. This is my favorite store.
Oh yeah, it's like
I'm Commander Shepard.
Yeah, man. Oh, I've been waiting for all those Mass Effect lines because I'm a huge Mass Effect fan.
I'm sorry, I didn't lead up into it well enough.
My favorite store on the Citadel.
You see, when you say it, it doesn't actually sound like Shepard to me because I've been playing FemShep.
Oh yeah, true.
Like a true
I don't remember what FemShep actually sounds. She's got like this really crude and soft voice, like she's been drinking a lot of whiskey and has kind of like a distortion in her voice, like a tiny bit.
Yeah. I wish I sounded like that. Jennifer Hale is like, man, if I had that voice, I would be...
Pylai Die, can he get Wind Ranger? Nope, he can't channel ulti for the rescue. Oof. And Sibe gets exploded to smithereens, and so does Pylai Die. 19-2. Score keeps on increasing.
Yep, and you can see the increased desperation of 5-men. It's like they want to get a tower, they need to get some space, because if you don't get these towers down, anytime you make a move on the map, you're going to get punished so fast because of TP scrolls. If you want to slow that pace down, then you gotta get towers, but there's just no way for them, not without dying a hell of a lot.
Important dodge there from Chessie, not getting caught by Shotslow, who's absolutely on fire right now with the Slardar. He just wants to fight the whole time, and he kills the courier from Sibe, which was most likely going to the Radiant Secret Shop. So, yeah, that would have been mana boots. Just for mana boots, like, I wish. But no. Meanwhile, Lightless and Misery. Misery's like, alright, he doesn't have mana, but I have failed 5 times in a row. Do I want to fail again? No.
He's looking for couriers.
Yes.
Incoming! Did they just random dust there too? Yes, Eknard actually random dusted.
He did, yeah.
Wow.
They are on point.
Okay,
reading. And he gets it, alright. But an empty courier. It's a hollow vessel. But they're gonna go straight to the Roche bit with the help of their good buddy Slardar, putting that minus armor on Roche. That's your 21-minute Aegis, picked up by Smiling Knight.
And you know that they feel confident on Empire if they, cover that Roche by putting their sole Zeus on the top lane, all on his lonesome. Like, I don't think they're gonna kill him. They don't care.
Misery's still hunting couriers. He's still on that spot.
You gotta keep yourself busy. He doesn't have much else to do right now.
Let's go. Walk into the Chen Courier. Is he on point? Oh. He's gonna get it. Hey, there we go.
Assassinated.
Money.
However,
Meanwhile,
Ace is
Ace is
also
in
about to get
big
assassinated.
trouble here. Does get the Mana Shield on, and there's the Medusa's Gaze, but it's too late. Way too late. Even Zeus has a Nimbus at this point, so that just makes things even worse for 5 men. Empire, they find the big kill that they wanted, and they might even find more as they blink straight on top of Misery. You should have stayed to killing couriers because you're just going to die here in the battlefield. That's a 6th death for him, and Shashel just keeps on hunting down people. They will get to tier 2, and they're going to push straight to high ground. They've got the Death Soul, they've got the Aegis, they have all they need.
Sasha is like a slark, a shark. Anytime he smells blood, I guess a slark is a shark sometimes. Get the right cosmetics.
Yeah.
But anytime this man smells blood, he's on top of ya. Remember they said that he was playing focused? Well, whew.
Well, we do have to see what 5 men want to do with this game.
But the
Medusa
problem
is
is
their
that they
key.
don't have any place to make.
Yeah, there's no place, there's no area, there's no nothing. Smiling Knight finds Pylai, he's gonna have to use a Nightmare on himself. Will dodge the Shackle shot. This won't save his life. Misery. Nope. They're gonna go on Jesse instead. Jesse is out.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. And that Jesse is the way that they would get back into this game, if they could. Jesse burst on either, the Chen, or maybe on the Wind Ranger, that would be an option, but instead...
Oh,
no
tries
time
to
go
Manta
through.
dodge the stun, but doesn't quite work out, but gets the Medusa's Gaze off in the end. Lifestealer on the run. Joshua gets fueled up into the air. Gonna have to stay here a little bit longer. The Blood Right doesn't quite connect the Chen ulti. Ace is just trying to right-click him from the high ground. Lifestealer still in the front. They're all alive on Empire. Regenerating quite fast as well. Fiend's Grip on the Lifestealer. They really want to get that Aegis out, but there's a lot of castrings on Lightless, and he will cancel the channel. Empire get out unscathed.
They are sieging high ground without actually any siege heroes into a Medusa and a Bloodseeker. That should tell you everything about how helpless 5 men are right now.
Helpless and defenseless.
Pretty much. I mean, the only mistake that Empire can make is running into that high ground too hard and actually giving 5 men the defensive fight that they geared up for.
Bloodseeker, very risky there. Gets this mechanism heal though.
And this is one of those problems with the offline Bloodseeker, is that if you don't get any kill tempo going, then your utility is pretty much limited to, well, teamfight AoE silence. You don't have any, toss backs or big stuns like a Tiny does. And it means that they're pretty much reliant on Chessie for everything in how to start a fight if they want to take it themselves. And it's such a heavy burden to bear. And
it is.
no
And
surprise
Misery's
that
been
they
spotted
haven't been
again.
able to get
There's the same. The Zeus ulti. Chachla just happens to be at the right place at the right time. Well, Misery, not just one of the bounty runes, 6 seconds for Blink Dagger. Coming in fast. And then you're suddenly surrounded by several enemies. One right click from Smiling Knight.
And here comes the
wait.
riverboat.
Actually got Seiyu. That's a long time since 5 men got a score, and I can see the sad faces in Twitch chat that we're not getting the 32-2 score line. The dream is broken. No longer PMA. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I'm with you. Let's see if that, there's an AC now for the Lifestealer, so still big items kicking in. Let's take a look at Medusa. Something on the Courier, coming in a very safe route. That's a Scotty. Important stats coming in.
This is important. If he can actually keep the Lifestealer on top of him, he can stop the Lifestealer from properly fighting any of the other heroes. And reduction in the heal is huge, as well as the slow.
Radiant's courier died as it lived, filled in.
Say you're looking for an angle maybe to go in, but Smiling Knight could have actually gone in if he did blink with the stun. Now Pilot Eye pop in the smoke. And they
Okay,
rupture the Wind
rupture
Ranger
the
illusions.
illusion.
Like, okay.
You're smoked,
And
guys.
Smiling Knight's still coming here. He's like, he wants to fight. He really wants to fight. And he's like, take me aboard. 7 seconds for Infest, though, so he can't really grab him yet. Nimbus.
They scouted
Oh,
Medusa.
Medusa's gaze. TPO. Okay, that was preemptive.
That was necessary.
It was necessary. Not, or it was.
You don't have the information if you're ace that they're not on top of you already.
All right, yeah. So yeah,
So
that
he's got to do it.
Yeah, I was
It just
thinking
looks
that.
very silly because we know more than he does.
Exactly. Yeah. So that also what I'm thinking is they're afraid.
Oh yeah, they're very scared right now. Like, the fight that they win is on their high ground and Empire dove too deep. That's where they turn it. And all these antics from Misery, all this deep vision that he has to snipe couriers, Pilot Die is sitting over here as well, is just to make Empire come back, make them run back, distract them, while we put more eggs into the Medusa basket. And she's getting pretty big by now. Still top of the net worth, can definitely hold her ground, but the question is still, will Empire just kill her teammates around her or not?
At least what I like about 5 men here is they're forcing Empire to run around the map a lot.
Exactly.
Empire is not really getting anything done, to be honest. Like, every second you stretch this game further is more towards the Medusa.
Exactly. They should have been going for this top tower a while ago already, but, you know, when Misery's running after your couriers and you know that you only need, you know, just one corrosive haze and you got him, right? You done it before, Satchel. Well, yeah, but it's also more than a minute of running around, which is all not spent on the enemy side of the map. It's not spent farming Medusa's camps. It's not spent hitting their tier 2s like Smiling Knight is now doing again.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
Well, they finally do make their approach towards that tower, and that's your last tier 2 gone for 5 men. But it is 28 minutes in, so with all this momentum that Empire has built up, it's not the biggest momentum you would usually see when you use the word momentum and speed and that kind of like joy and super aggressiveness. I'm talking momentum in a more, let's say, less effective way. Like, they're doing correct things, but they're just taking their time with it.
Yeah. And I think doing the right thing more slowly is better than rushing and making a crucial mistake. I don't think they're on the clock that much, but at some point they gotta make a breakthrough. And they're looking for
Misery,
it now.
not very hard to chase here.
Close. Oh!
Blending here. Meanwhile, Xive also getting jumped on here by the Infest bomb machine. Joshlo
That's
and
what my little O was for. He was this close to getting distracted and hitting a courier instead of noticing the Bloodseeker that was right next to him.
yeah. 50 seconds for Roche as well. It's not even the longest Roche spawn timers. It's gonna be up very fast.
So all 5 men are gonna do here is just push these waves out, make sure that 5 men has as many creep waves to deal with as possible, while they are going to go for a safe Roshan play.
Yeah, oh, highlight die. Nightmare 1, but Cat Nightmare 2.
And these kills are coming in faster, more forward now. Oh no, Jesse got found on top. He doesn't have a DP, I think it got cancelled.
Slowly taken away by Seiyu. Seiyu does take a lot of damage here, but that focus fire is tickling Tiny.
Him.
But there we go. Lightless comes into the
Tickled
rescue.
him right
Seiyu
to
does
death.
all the work, and then Zeus comes for the kill.
That's Zeus's MO, isn't it? Sometimes he doesn't even have the dignity to, you know, show up. Yeah, I'll press R from the other side of the map.
Hmm.
Every coin helps.
Roshan time.
This game is slowly dragging onward, but it is moving on. As it is.
It is,
Empires.
yeah. And
yeah.
the reason that it's just not, you know, there's no... If the comeback comes, it's going to be all the way at the end, because it requires that choke point fight for 5 Knight, because they can't force it. They can't force anything right now. They haven't been able to force anything for 20 minutes. And it is what it is, but that's the choice they made when they drafted this lineup.
Roche
Might be
goes down
snowball or
very,
just
very
struggle.
fast here. Almost
Cheese?
forgot
Yeah,
the
thank you,
cheese in the
Sarchma.
pit. That's like Misery's favorite thing to do right there, is if he doesn't see the cheese on anyone, he would go in the pit and check it out. Like,
Oh yeah. Second-hand cheese, anyone?
Yes. Alright, we've got a tiny pause here. I guess this also is an important breather here for 5 men. Maybe try and slowly kill off Empire's pace. Since Empire, I think they have now what they need. They should have already had it like 10 minutes ago, I guess. This is not flaming or being salty, but I feel like they could have actually done it 10 minutes ago. But they were doing a really good job with the siege, but I guess they started respecting 5 men a little bit too much here. Medusa's now got an MKB and a Scotty since the last time they pushed high ground, so that's a big difference now.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this Aegis here, because if they just straight up siege, I'm not sure this actually works out. I still think they need an entrance skill, and for that they're going to need to jump up. So Nimbus up to the high ground, Satchlo with an infest bomb. I think if you just put Smiling Knight on that high ground and have him click the tower, you're in trouble, because you can't get out anymore when that Skadi Dusa starts hitting you.
Yeah, agreed on that. And yeah, Medusa's definitely the firepower that 5 men need to keep alive. They've got Solar Crests on the Bloodseeker to buff up the Medusa. Bounty Hunter gives the vision with the track, so I guess this is where it really comes down to, is Tiny controls them, Bounty gives the vision, Seeker buffs up and keeps sure that the Medusa's safe, and same thing for the Bane as well, just try and secure Medusa a free time to hit. But they also have to move around the Medusa, so if Medusa's in, they have to be in. If Medusa's backing, they need to be backing, and the right spells need to be used in the right order and the right players. There's a lot of things that can go wrong for 5 men with positioning in fights and how they coordinate things.
Yep. Whereas for Empire, you know, farm gives you a lot of luxury options. If Lightless puts his Nimbus in the wrong place, he presses his brand new refresher and he puts another one down.
Where were we? Radiant was pushing.
Life's not fair,
Everyone
and then
has
you
to go
die.
bottom.
Well, that's a very grim way to put it.
Now, I spent half a year up here in Finland. You don't, stay there for this long without learning a couple of things from the locals, you know?
Yes, well, welcome to our world. It's like... But that's like the basic worker mentality that we have here. It's like, go to work, you party in the weekends, and you go back to work, and... Well, party... You can party in many ways. You can party alone if you want. We even have an old term for that. You've probably heard it once or twice.
A bottle of vodka is a party, right?
Yeah, I guess so, but I'll go into that.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's
that
fine,
my
it's fine.
My
It's
friends
just
in the Netherlands are telling me it's 30 degrees over there right now. And I'm sitting here freezing my toes off already. They're going in, there's a jump!
There is the jump, indeed, and the BKBs are up there for Shashla at least. There's a Zeus ultimate coming in as well. Buyback instantly from Pylai Die, trying to catch someone with that Fiend's Grip, but Shashla is just gonna... Nope, he's not. He was trying to TP home, but he wasn't. But Misery is going to get focused on by Seiyu. Jesse getting saved by the Nightmare. You see the Refresher Orb has been used somewhere in the background, but Zeus has no mana left to use a Refresher, but no mana left to continue with the siege. I think Empire have to give it away here. They force some buybacks to get a few kills. They also lose one of theirs, but nevertheless, damage has been dealt.
Yep, mostly damage to the options of 5 men, and I respect to them for the way that they handled that as well. They indeed siege with Smiling Knight, giving 5 men the illusion that Empire is going to do this the wrong way, and then you get this Slardar jumping over the top, just bursting his target down. Very smart way to do it. Less expected. Of course, it also means that you don't have the extra burst damage of the infest, but that's the trade-off that you make. It's Smiling Knight.
Yeah.
He only has one teammate behind him right now.
Yep.
He doesn't care.
Guess he's trying to show the dominance that he definitely has teammates around. The Radiants can catch anyone. I think they were trying to hope for a wild Misery to walk up on the high ground, but they do have... Actually, yeah, 5 men actually got to put their vision down here. Still haven't gotten rid of these. They've been there for quite a long time.
Yeah, Life was just checked pretty close to there, but I don't think it was actually in range.
Another push
go
attempt
again.
now that they're back in full strength. Refresher orb still down for 90 seconds for the Zeus. But I think it's a good time to start knocking on 5-man's door. Smiling Knight in the front, taking a lot of damage from Ace and jumps into one of their creeps. Able to run back out, so a bit of damage here and there. That was more than they did on their last push. They did cause some economic damage onto them with their heroes, and Chessie will be caught. Nimbus on top, getting stunned up constantly. Shashel will follow up with some more bashes, and Chessie is down. 70 seconds. Does have a buyback up if required. Chessie, Misery is sniping couriers here at the same time, and that's a Kaya on the courier down, which will not go to Zeus. Can they get this tier 3 tower down? Repair kit? Nope, they can't commit to it. So 300 HP away from falling, but they have to give it away. Now it's gonna go back to full HP.
You can see here, it is so hard for Empire to siege, but they gotta keep on doing it, because if you don't force 5 men to stay in their base, you're opening yourself up to the possibility that they get even more farm than they have already managed to get on that Medusa.
Well, Eknard is scouting quite far ahead. Smiling Knight's courier, that's an Abyssal. So a Kaya and an Abyssal have been taken
Does
away.
Lightless survive this? No, he doesn't.
Misery and Lightless is being chased. This is a really good opportunity for 5 men. Still got vision on the Zeus. Highlight dies, just hungry to chase them down, but can't get to him. There's a Zeus ulti, sees him. Cancels the TP. Here comes Smiling Knight. They're trying to find Ace. Zeus is doing so many things. He's fighting Pylite Eye right next to him, and at the same time he's throwing Nimbuses on top of the Medusa, who's now hiding in the trees and should be able to get home. There we go. Meanwhile, Seiyu will follow up on Pylite Eye. So Zeus keeps on going onward and Winder and just like, don't worry, I got this.
Really fast fingers on Lightless there. The fact that he throws down the Nimbus immediately when he sees Pylite Eye is the only thing that saves him there. Because he was within a millisecond of getting Fiend's Grip.
Different lane, same execution. Medusa gets tossed backwards. Chessie being focused up by Shashel. Shashel taking a lot of damage here from the Medusa. Medusa also at half HP. That puddle. Lovely, lovely puddle. A lot of HP regen for the Slardar. Another repair kit. That's the last one.
Yeah, I think Ace might live there. I'm not sure if Chessie needs to go in to save him there, especially not because Chessie doesn't have his buyback anymore. He bought out for an assault cuirass. Empire don't see their opening though. No BKB on
No,
Satchel right now.
yeah, they're skipping their opportunity here. Which they could have abused. Again, they are suspecting 5 men to have full buybacks. There are just some very low level supports like Bane is 11, for example. Misery is 12. Their own supports are 20. Just a casual 20 and an 18. All right. Misery walks to Eknard. Eknard doesn't know. And 1.5 minutes for the 1.5 minutes for the minimum roach time. Oh, okay. Misery. Double-digit deaths.
Bounty Hunters, feast or famine, and this is a famine game for sure.
Yeah, this is a famine game. You can do some things for I mean with the Bounty Hunter, but doesn't quite seem to sink in how it fits into 5 men. I don't know. That maybe it's just me. I just don't see how the bounty fits into many drafts these days.
Yeah, he feels like a luxury pick. If you're already winning the draft, you can totally throw him on top and just, you know, get more out of the fact that you're going to be able to take fights naturally, etc.
Rub your hands and giggle. Well, yep. Sebe dodging Nimbus. Here comes Shashlo. Rose of Haste is applied. And Bloodseeker's out. And Bloodseeker's also gone for 50 seconds with no buyback. And that is also because he can't afford it. Empire. Now's your time. Now's your time to shine if they want to go to that high ground. Ace is there to meet and greet them. No autographs though this time. Glyph used, keeping the tier 3 up. Come on. I know this is like, from our perspective, this is completely different to the players, but I think Empire, they have had some rough games yesterday and today. They just want to get at least that one win. That's why they're probably playing so cautiously.
Oh yeah, and as well that, you know, 5 men having to defend here means that they're wearing Empire out for the second map. And, you know, if Empire slip up and get tired enough in this map, you might walk away with this win too. But it's gonna be close.
And just to get out of the avalanche, Chessie frozen to save a bit of extra time. Lightless right around the corner. Misery takes a bit of damage here. Half HP. Lightless might just go for it. No. Nimbus already used.
And he's still a Zeus.
Yep. And Roche is... Oh, Roche not up yet. 20 seconds.
Honestly, I don't think I'm comfortable with like Zeus and going for it. This man should not be running at anyone. He's too old and frail.
Even I like a good bobble.
Oh, Misery building into Vlad's. So I guess when you have like aura items and bounty, you'll start playing with the team, around the team, because you need to get those auras for Medusa. This is that exactly what you said in the draft. 4+1 strat with a bounty hunter just feels a bit iffy. Their smoke has been spotted. And they also spot the Misery bounty hunter moving around too. They are slowly making their way, and that's a Daedalus on the Medusa, so I think this could be the time to start hitting some heroes out of the approach. This though, here comes an Illusionist Cape, Life Stealer, and the Aegis is already picked up.
There are no halberds on Empire. Normally you'd itemize into a Medusa by doing, well, for example that, like all your items are on this one hero. Okay, cool, she can't attack
Medusa
anymore.
caught. This is a really big, right on the money. Where's the damage though? Nimbus, Zeus ulti coming in as well. Smiling Knight with the Vessel Blade jumping straight up to save it. The Bloodseeker will be evaporated. And Ace, he got a bit lucky there, but his teammate had to take the bullet for him. So Xive is out. Again, 60 seconds down, 350 gold away from that buyback. But now, Empire, onto the high ground we go once again. They've taken a tier 3 tower. They will take the next one down. 3,700 HP Lifestealer crawling towards the Medusa. Medusa just throwing right clicks in and out. That Daedalus does crit a couple times. Stealer's got 30 armor. Seiyu's got 922 movement speed.
Shackle.
What is that shackle? And Medusa gonna get stun locked. He's gonna get followed up by another under the Nimbus. No mana for these Medusa's gaze, and Medusa's gone for 100 seconds. The defense has been destroyed. The walls have been crumbled, and 5 men have to give in, and it's GG. Empire, 42 minutes in. They take game 1, and that is their first win. Quite some time.
It is, but they do it just really neatly. We've said before during this game, hey, they can probably play this a bit faster, but at the same time, if you start playing this like you're actually on the clock, if you start ignoring how hard you're squeezing the enemy for farm and just only focus on, oh god, this Medusa is gonna get big, then, well, Ace gets to live rent-free in your head, and you might end up choking yourself to death on that. And instead, they just focus on their own goals. They get their own items up. They wait very patiently for these pickoffs. No weird forces. The one jump that they did into the base was pretty reserved. And yeah, in the end, they pushed through extremely convincingly. I like this game. It's a very good show of what this Empire team can do if given the opportunity.
It was definitely. And Chessie actually did the same amount of damage as Ace did this game, even like 80 damage more. So 50k both Medusa and the Tiny. Lifestealer getting a perfect game, 11-11, so 22 KDA for Smiling Knight. Empire, they rocked out their laning stage really well, and they basically kept on from wherever they started the game. They did definitely take their time, but they made sure that they don't make stupid mistakes. Of course, they kind of gave 5 men a bit of extra time to come back in and maybe give them some false sense of security, which I love to always say. But, you know, they held their package together and clean.
Yep. And shout out here for this first pick, Wind Ranger. I was not convinced that she was going to survive, but she didn't just survive, she thrived. Look at that, 10, 1, and 9 for a +4. beautifully played and some amazing shackles.
Well, we'll have to see what happens in game 2 with our second draft after the break, where we have Team Empire and 5 men up against each other again. So don't disappear anywhere. Take a few minutes and we'll return with the action soon.